Cats! They're cute, they're cuddly, they're nature's apex janitor, killing up to an estimated 275 million prey a year in the UK. But that's a domestic cat, and as much as we'd like to speak about these little fluffballs, that's not what we're looking for today. No, today here at Shots Television Towers we're looking at larger kitties, big cats. And no, we're not going into the wilds of some foreign jungle for them either. No folks, we're looking for them right here in Old Blighty, and pondering that age-old question, do big cats exist in the UK? First up, we're in Cumbria, where a local man believed he saw a big cat roaming the countryside in January 2024.
Basically, back in late 2019, me and my friend and his young lad were about a mile from here, and we discovered a spoor that was quite obviously not from a dog. It was asymmetrical. The exact shaping of the toes was very much like a lynx. It was lynx sized. We can't say it was a lynx because it's only a spoor, but it's definitely something lynx sized. It doesn't appear to be canid. I had the evidence reviewed by several specialists, zoologists, even a paleontologist actually, and yeah, they basically all said that it's quite genuine. It really does seem to be feline. Basically that.
So what can we deduce from this?
It's a dog, absolutely a dog, because it doesn't touch any of the toes. She sits in between the first and second and third and fourth. If it had been an asymmetrical track, like this one would be halfway through the toe.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really good way of...
And it's not conclusive, but it's just a good trick you can do.
It's a good preliminary...
Just seeing the scale of him. What a beauty. Yeah. I got him right. Oh, what a beauty. He's bigger than I thought. Do you know that they're a lot bigger than I thought?
Next, with footage from the makers of a documentary titled Panthera Britannica Declassified, which shows creatures the filmmakers believe could be big cats in the UK. Matt Everett, the director of the Big Cat documentary, said his team had been inundated after the film's July 2023 release. The film claims to have uncovered several groundbreaking big cat sightings. In another video released by the filmmakers, a large dark animal is seen moving around the edge of a field in Norwich. The documentary makers also discovered what they claim is the clearest ever photo of a big cat prowling the British countryside. The picture of the large panther-like creature was discovered in the files of a zoology organisation. It shows a large muscular black cat lying in long grass in Smallthorne, Staffordshire. The photo was accompanied by a handwritten note dated March 17, but it is unclear in which year it was taken. Experts say if the photo is genuine, it is probably the best photo of a British big cat that exists. The filmmakers also claim to have new DNA evidence proving the evidence of at least one wild big cat near a sheep kill in Gloucestershire in July 2022. In January 2024, a woman captured what looks like a big cat on camera in the outskirts of a Cheshire town. The exact location isn't being shared to protect the creature from hunters. Becky Clark spotted the mystery beast roaming while she was out for a walk. She said, "We watched it for about 20 seconds on Zoom before I realised I haven't pressed record." There has been so much disruption in our area, with thousands of houses going up over the last 5 to 6 years, and now motorway works cutting through green space. It was only in the last few years I was lucky enough to see the deer and now the cat. I suspect their areas have been disrupted so much we had to move. We're hopeful to see it again. This is the moment a family spotted a panther-like creature prowling over a hill near a holiday park. Anthony Dickinson was driving back to his holiday cottage and wanted to capture the picturesque journey, but he was shocked when he came upon a big cat moving away from them over the brow of a hill. Dickinson guessed the cat was as tall as his waist. Alongside his son Jason, he searched for the creature but couldn't find it. Speaking in 2019, he said, "I couldn't believe my eyes. Of all the sights to see in Devon, I never expected to see that kind of animal just metres away from us. The more I've thought about it, the more I'm convinced we saw the beast of Bodmin, and especially after hearing that other people had spotted it too." Anthony was with his son, his daughter-in-law, and 2 grandchildren outside Capeland's farm when the group spotted the big cat from a distance. The beast of Bodmin references a giant cat said to roam Cornwall. There is, however, a beast of Exmoor, which is said to roam the fields of Exmoor in Devon and Somerset. Sightings first began in the 1970s, but the beast of Exmoor became famous in 1983 when a farmer claimed to have lost 100 sheep. April 2019, Broadwell, the Cotswolds. This is the moment a Labrador-sized feline was filmed prowling outside the Fox Inn. The video was taken by the pub landlord Ed Simpson after he spotted the beast out of a first floor window of his pub in the village of Broadwell in the Cotswolds. The recording came after police and the RSPCA confirmed a hamlet in Cornwall where pets had vanished was being stalked by a large panther-like animal. Ed said, "We were upstairs and saw something out of the window and said, 'Look at that!' There was this big cat. It paraded across the field quite happily, then it jumped over a wall and vanished." Going to Derbyshire in July 2023, we come to the case of Bernadette Hall, who was out walking with her husband in Stanton Moor, and as they were walking they came across this skeleton. According to the Derbyshire Times, Bernadette thought it was initially a sheep, yet later she posted it to social media groups where rumours of a big cat started again. One commenter believed it was firm evidence that big cats are in the Peak District. And that touches home for Bernadette. When she was growing up, she had childhood fears of being hunted and eaten by a puma. Commenting on the find, Rick Minter, the Big Cat Conversations podcast host and author of Big Cats Facing Britain's Wild Predators, told the Derbyshire Times that it may point to black leopards in the area. He said, "There is always a chance of someone hoaxing and arranging animal bones up a tree to play a prank, but the ribs on these skeletal remains seem to be partly sheared, which could be the result of a cat such as a black leopard." He also said, "The Stanton Moor area has a record of plausible sightings of these large cats. They are often in edge habitat where woodland meets moorland or pasture, and they can ambush prey such as deer." Now that all seems compelling, but let's come back to the core question of this programme. Do big cats live in Britain? Well, according to Shot's sister outlet, nationalworld.com, great website, the UK doesn't have a native population of big cat-like pumas, panthers and lynxes, though the website reports that sightings of big animals have continued throughout the years. So what could these creatures be? Well, there are some theories. Experts hold that there's no breeding population of big cats in the UK. The evidence? Well, they'd require a massive food supply. A few lynxes have actually been recovered by the authorities in there. Those are believed to be escaped or released exotic pets after the introduction of the Dangerous Wild Animals Act in 1976. Big cats such as leopards, lions and lynxes have lived in the British Isles, but that was during the Ice Age. So what does the government say? Well, a new scientist report in August 2023 looked into it, and the UK's Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs told them there had been no credible evidence of big cats in the UK. Specifically, the spokesperson for them said, "If we were presented with credible information to suggest that there was a big cat living and posing a threat to public health and safety, we would report the matter to local police and the Home Office." So there you have it. Officially, there's no big cat population in Britain. However, sightings do keep popping up, so who knows? Are they escaped exotic animals, mythical creatures? Or, as some fringe theories suggest, a creature left over from the Ice Age? We'll leave that answer to you. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on Shots, stay tuned for more authentic UK television, curated from the heart of British communities by journalists living in them. If you're watching anywhere else, please like, share us around, and subscribe if you haven't done so already.